Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. A man is shot and killed on St. Croix, an update on the latest killing on St. Thomas, and 3 suspects are arrested for the Traxco robbery. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, after a period of almost no crime, it looks like the period of peace is over. A 23-year-old man is dead tonight after he was gunned down in his mother's Upper Love home. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. Very sad news to report here in Upper Love, St. Croix. I'm standing right here at the house. You see here this pink house? We had problems here around 3 o'clock in the morning. We have a 23-year-old black male who lives with his mom. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, we believe now that he was accosted by a couple of suspects, and they got him with a shotgun. Shots rang out. He was hit with a shotgun, dead at the scene. 23 years old. His mother is unharmed. Right now, she is at the police station answering questions. The community definitely came around here. You can see this is a very well-loved and popular family, as we met just people, some cousins and forensics here, and just some friends that want to know exactly what happened and, you know, is everything okay? Unfortunately, everything is not okay. We have a 23-year-old who was killed, we believe, with a shotgun. We believe he was killed inside of the home because we don't see any shell casings outside, and we don't see forensics who have put those circles around those shells that we have notoriously been come to know on crime scenes. So we believe that this happened inside the house. You see the yellow police wire across the house. Fortunately, though, the mom was not injured in the attack. Now, speculation, we don't know why, what happened in this case, why he was killed. Apparently, there was some past altercation. We don't know. By the end of the day, we'll give you more information if we have it. Right now, let's go to VIPD spokesperson Melody Rames with more.
The Criminal Investigation Bureau detectives are investigating a homicide that occurred in Estate Upper Love on St. Croix. The victim, 23-year-old Isaiah Joseph Filbert, was found unresponsive on the floor of his home on Monday, November 3rd. Police were alerted by 911 dispatchers at about 3:20 a.m. and responded to a private residence in Estate Upper Love, where they found the victim on the floor of his residence with at least 1 gunshot wound to the body. The victim's mother and another person told police they were in another room in the home at the time of the shooting. They told police they heard several gunshots but did not see who did the shooting. This is the 19th homicide on St. Croix for 2009.
So for now, that's all we know. 3 o'clock this morning, Upper Love, gunshots rang out. We have a 23-year-old dead from shotgun wounds. His mother was unharmed. She was sleeping in the house at the time. 778-2211, 911. By now, you know the routine. If you know anything about this horrendous murder, you should call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. I'm in Upper Love. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And on St. Thomas, it's even worse when it comes to violence. Now, another shooting victim is dead. News Channel 8's Lee Carl files this report.
There's more to that story of the VI National Guard soldier, victim of the weekend homicide, who was ready to deploy to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Lorraine Fraser, specialist, apparently was killed by gunfire Saturday here at this location just off a back street in what is called Niagata. Fraser and a Tortola resident, we believe it was his cousin, Victor Smith, were in the area of Garden Street in Niagata when a white vehicle and 2 persons, or maybe 1, just walked up and opened fire, killing Smith and Fraser with multiple gunshot wounds. Both men were 24 and they died at the scene. But there's more to the story. The police have not released this information, so we'll say it's not official, but it's the information we received in poking around and talking to people who apparently had knowledge of what was going on. The person in the front seat with Mr. Fraser was Victor Smith from Tortola. With him was also another friend in the back seat with Fraser's girlfriend, who had just given birth to a child, a baby girl. And apparently, when the gunman opened fire, the girl jumped out of the car along with the man from the back seat, who was also from Tortola. He ran to the fire station to call the police. She stood out there traumatized at that point. They did not fire on her. Of course, Fraser and Victor Smith died. Police are looking into the possibility and working with the British Virgin Islands Police about the perpetrators may have been from Tortola and had come to St. Thomas and targeted the two persons from Tortola. Fraser was a bystander, more or less. He was the driver of the vehicle. So that is the situation so far as we have it. And also, another shooting incident took place on Halloween, although unrelated to the shooting of the National Guardsman, was a Randy Francis. He was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the abdomen by what was reported by other sources as a relative who left him there and left the hospital. It turns out the family of Randy said none of the relatives were involved in taking him to the hospital. It was a girlfriend, and they were a bit disturbed about the reports the girlfriend had given to the police about where the shooting took place. So those questions apparently were raised immediately, and the police are now investigating this situation in which it was the girlfriend who took Randy Francis to the hospital. He later died, by the way, of those gunshot wounds. So the police now are beginning to look into that case. If anyone has any further information, call the regular police numbers 911 or 1-800-222-TIPS. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee Carl. And 3 suspects are now in custody in the Traxco robbery case. $100,000 was stolen in that August robbery, and News Channel 8's Wes Small has the story that had inside job written all over it.
We're back here again at Randall Doc James Racetrack, and you might remember it was August 17th that we had a robbery here. Now we have 3 suspects in custody, and they're charged with conspiracy, first-degree robbery, first-degree assault, several other charges. Just from the beginning, folks, the word on the street was this was an inside job. Jamie Roebuck, 26 years old, from Estate Whim. See his picture there. Andre Buffon, 28 years old, from Tan Tan Terrace. And Monique Armstrong. This is where the inside job comes in at. She's 25 years old, and she was a cashier here at Traxco. They have all been charged now with conspiracy and obtaining money under false pretenses. Armstrong is charged with making false statements to police and interfering with an officer discharging his duty. Additional charges of first-degree robbery, first-degree assault, carrying or using a dangerous weapon, and grand larceny were laid against Buffon. Bail for each was set at $100,000. Meanwhile, police department spokesperson Melody Rames said the 3 conspired to report a false robbery in order to obtain money from the track. Now, Monique Armstrong worked here at the racetrack, but the other suspects did not. So there you have it. That's the information on the Traxco robbery here at Randall Doc James Racetrack. Again, in custody this morning, 26-year-old Jamie Roebuck from Whim. Monique Armstrong, 25, from Scion Farm. She worked here at Traxco. And Andre Buffon, he's 28, from Tan Tan Terrace. Here at Traxco, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.